I hate puppies.
Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
I can't see.
It's cutting out on me. I'm back. I fixed it.
Okay, there you
I'm
go.
a producer. I'm a producer.
You are.
I'm just
Kind
here
of.
for fun.
Jeez, it's all trash.
Producer.
What's going on, everybody? Jeez, I'm knocking everything over. Welcome to Inside the Ballad House.
I think my first podcast.
I think we're still recording. I've nailed it.
Still moving forward.
I have
Is this
done
happening?
it.
All right.
Good.
I have done it. Success. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Ballad House. I said it once. I'll say it again because I got it right this time. It was a little technical difficulty. You should be used to that 5 years in. You would think at the price point that I pay myself, $0, I would get better at this.
We haven't ironed out all of those technical difficulties yet.
We have not. We have not. We need to start paying Stu so that the no, actually, take
No.
that back immediately.
I'm still on the rookie contract.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be on the rookie contract for 4 years. That's the that's how that works.
League minimum.
This is like MLB right here, you know?
Yep.
That's why we didn't start you for the first 12 episodes of the season. We wanted to make sure that we got another year out of that contract. We're eking it out.
We had an injury and had to call him up to the show.
We had dude, Ely's still injured.
Yeah.
Like I don't see him.
No.
It's not an injury. He's enjoying
Child,
life.
that's the worst injury there is.
Yeah, that's an 18-year-long plus injury.
It's a brutal injury.
It's
It's even worse for the woman.
what is it?
It's an extra 9 months with that kid.
Everybody says first 6 years, no sleep.
Yeah, and then from
Multiplied by
16 to 18, I probably won't sleep either. I got girls.
My
though.
kids are good sleepers.
Oh, I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay.
I won't be sleeping.
Yeah,
It'll be-
well, yeah, when you have girls, too, that's a whole
Yeah, it's-
different story.
scares the bejesus out of me. There's no two ways about it, unfortunately.
Can I say one quick thing about the
I don't.
the ladies on the girls having girls as kids?
Okay, go for it.
My 14-year-old went for the first. She disobeyed direct order. Little boys, well, boys, not little, but three boys. He wanted to have come over,
Uh-oh.
3 boys.
hang out with her and her friend. So it was be 5 of them total. But it was after 11 o'clock.
Was it
Everybody's
after
going
the
to bed.
dance, the big dance the other night?
The other
11
night,
o'clock a.m.
No, 11 p.m.
Okay, there's a
Uh-oh.
problem.
Boys-
14, you say?
14.
Yeah,
3
fuck
boys
that.
hanging out in the cul-de-sac. They're supposed to, she wants to hang out with them.
But they were outside. They
were
weren't in the
outside,
house.
and we said, "No, you're not. You don't need to do that. You guys, you guys need to go to bed." She went ahead, and everybody's asleep, and she had them come in
Oh.
from
Oh,
about
that's what I would've done, too.
11:30 to 2 a.m.
Came in the house.
hanging out in the garage.
Whoa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Direct disobey.
You got to expect that of kids, though, right? Because kids have to test you, right?
I mean, it's going to be more difficult with all like the Ring doorbells and the
Yeah,
Nest
yeah.
and like all the things you can do. I mean, I remember it was standard procedures. Like my pager would go off and I would get a couple numbers and those numbers would tell me when and where we were going to meet. And the girl down the street, she would pop out and we would just meet right on the corner and walk down to my boy's house and party all night. I
So
mean, it
you
was-
slept through all this? You didn't hear this?
Well, I'm secondhand.
Oh,
now-
okay.
Nowadays,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's it was one of those things.
No
where
one
I'm
heard.
I'm not. I'm not upset with the fact that I would have done the same thing. We all did
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's now it's the first time she did it.
It was the first time she got caught.
Yeah.
That means it's like the 5th time.
Was it the rule of 3?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume that this has happened before.
'Cause that's a brazen one.
That is when everyone's home and you bring them back in.
Yeah.
I mean, you sneak out like a normal person and go to someone else, like a park
Yeah,
or
I
someone
feel like
else's
you bring
house.
somebody in, you're just bound to get caught. Especially some asshole kid. It's
Was
not their house, so they're like probably being loud and stuff.
Was the punishment legit?
Oh, this is just in the last 24 hours, so we're
still
figuring what the. I mean,
They got the map drawn up in the war room, trying to figure out how they're exactly where they're going to strike and how
Yeah.
hard.
Dude, I just started a new thing because I'm like, so I got little girls, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I can't spank them because I think I'd spank boys. Like, I would just, like, I'd light them up. Like, I'd be
You
like,
can spank little girls, but I would say you might be past that. Your girls are getting to, like, not so little anymore. I mean, they're...
well, yeah, I mean, they're 8 and 9.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I feel like you're better, like, spanking when they're even younger, when you could just, like, smack them once on the butt to get their attention, and they're like, okay, that's something. But I feel like actually spanking kids at your kid's age would be weird.
Well, I wish my dad had gotten that memo.
Yeah, my
'cause
parents didn't follow that.
I got my
I'm just
ass-
saying my opinion.
got my ass whooped till I had pubes.
Yeah.
And probably a couple times after that before I
Uh-huh.
figured out the strength of my pubes. I was like, wait a minute. I have testosterone ripping through my body. I'm going to end this now.
The worst is that first time when either you do it to your parents or they do it to you, which is
When you spank your parents?
no, when you're like,
What kind of world are you living in?
This is for all the
yeah,
times
over
you got
my-
me,
no,
old
but
man.
Get over my knee, Dad.
Yeah.
But the first time,
That's geriatric abuse.
I know I did it to my parents when, like,
Yeah,
when my dad, I did something bad, and I looked at him. I'm like, okay, go ahead, do it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or your kids look at you and like, that's not the punishment. Go ahead, I can take it.
Yeah.
Like then you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Well, so I figured out
Powerless.
I've got a new trick because I couldn't think of something. The other morning, one of my daughters was screaming bloody murder. Like, honestly, like, I was like, she's probably bleeding out somewhere.
Yeah.
And I go downstairs and it's like an argument over a cereal spoon or some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
nothing.
And I'm furious because I'm up an hour early.
Yeah.
I'm like, forget this. And I'm like racking my brain, like, what do I do? And I was like, run a lap. And they're like, what? I was like, run a lap. They're like, around the house? I was like, no. Get outside, run a lap, end of the street and back.
Yeah.
And so they're out there running laps. And I realized when they came back, they weren't fighting anymore.
Yeah, it burns up some energy.
We've only had one more instance since then where I've been like, run a lap. And it's when they scream bloody murder for no reason.
Yeah.
I make them run a lap. And it's
Pretty
like,
good.
it seems to be working.
PT.
Nice.
I don't know any other way. Like, I can't do anything. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
run a lap. And it's working. Like, they're listening to me. I'll be like, did I just hear a scream? Oh, God, no, Dad. No,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not.
When you can't take anything away because it's not like when we were kids, you had one toy that you liked, and it was like, you take that away and you're screwed. It's like these kids have tons of things. Like, everything is the best way to describe
you guys are still taking away the stuff, but like you take away Emma's cell phone.
Oh,
my
well,
daughter's
then,
cell
yeah.
phone.
Oh, a cell
Yeah.
phone
It's-
crush them.
Yeah, and then they do the workaround.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's always
I got my Mac. I forgot to grab your Mac out of
Exactly.
your room.
Dude, I
got
used
the
to have
iPads
I
and
had
the
an
computers.
I had an intercom when I was a little kid. You remember those intercoms? Like, it was like a little box, and you would plug it into your wall, and then it would communicate with the other intercom that was plugged into your house.
I've never seen that. I remember the hardwire ones in like the really ritzy neighborhoods.
So these things were ones where you would plug it in, and then it would work. Like with
Yeah.
anywhere else that's plugged into your house. It's not a network so much as it is going through. Well, I guess the network is the electrical in the house.
Okay.
Strangest thing. So you plug it in, and then you're able to communicate. Maybe it's doing some kind of like
Well, it's probably just communicating.
Walkie-talkie
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
just whatever's in reach and within
So-
a certain number of feet.
I had one of these, and then young Jimmy in my neighborhood had one.
Oh wow!
And we would sneak out, and then you would plug it in their outside outlet and be like, Psh, hey, dude, I'm outside. And he'd be like,
oh wow!
I'm on my way. And then, like, so we would always just take it over to the other
Totally
person's house.
not
and
what they
plug it in.
designed those for.
No.
Worked like a
That's
charm.
a workaround right there.
It was that's so. As soon as you said, you know what the workaround is, I was like, yeah, intercoms.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, wait a minute, no one has a fucking intercom anymore. But it worked for me. That thing was great because we had those in the house, and so I was like, young Jimmy, take this one. Keep it at your house, and we can just plug in and talk.
I've never even heard of those. That's pretty cool.
It was genius.
Sounds like a base station walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Like a
That's
walkie-talkie
essentially
that
it.
has to be powered in somewhere, not battery powered.
I always assumed it was just the network through the wires, but now I am wondering if it was something wireless. But
Radio.
either way, worked like a charm.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So, do you guys do anything cool this weekend?
Just baseball and pool. I was at the pool a lot, so a lot of day drinking. So that's always cool.
I love day drinking.
I did the I'm not going to drink that much. I'll drive home from the bar, and then ended up Uber home, 9 a.m. Uber back
Yep.
to downtown the next morning.
Yeah.
There is nothing worse than the Uber back, the Uber of shame. Like you
Yeah.
never feel bad
Yeah.
if you just Uber to the bar,
Yeah.
but if you have to Uber back the next day,
Yeah,
it's
that
a-
is
it's a-
bad.
It's a crap feeling because that means you had every intention of pulling it off.
Oh, but the wait time, that night, 30 seconds, 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Brutal. Yeah.
Nearest Uber is like 45 minutes away.
yeah.
Yeah, not so good. You should lift.
Definitely lift.
That's the trick. That's the trick. I went up to Northern Virginia this weekend. Had like a big old like fraternity reunion basically at a buddy's house.
Sup, bro?
Those are always interesting.
Yeah.
So I went and picked up my buddy.
What was the occasion?
Dude just hit me up. Dude played the most genius move. He texted me a while back, and it's like, hey, so and so, and I are throwing a barbecue, and I'm like, no way. Like that's like a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Of frat guys. I was like, I am in. Only to find out later, after I've already committed, that it's only
in
the
Nova?
one. It's only the one guy. And the one guy just happened to invite the two other guys, but he kind of he positioned
worded it.
the way he worded it. I was like, dude, that's gonna be every single fraternity brother for like 90 miles. Like,
That's
crazy.
hilarious.
It was a brilliant play. They were there. The guys were there. But one of them I called up. I was like, hey man, you going to our boys' barbecue? And he was like, man, I totally forgot about that. Like he's like, I have tickets to see Luke Bryant.
You're like, aren't
with
you
my
throwing
girl."
it?
Yeah, and I was like, well, you're involved.
You're
in
a
it. How
host,
do you-"
right?
He was like, no, I'm not. I just told him I'd go. I was like, well, you're in. He's like, I'll sell my tickets.
He's like the club
Yeah.
promoter, like, P. Diddy's going to be here later. And you're like, oh, yeah, then I'll go.
Exactly.
P. Diddy's like, I have no idea what you're talking
It was
I
a
don't know
good.
what you're talking about.
I mean, it was a good. I saw the photograph. It was a good crew, but I couldn't make it.
Damn good crew. But I learned something very interesting while I was up there. I showed up, and one of my boys was flat out yoked.
Really?
Now this dude has always been yoked. Like
Yeah.
he's lifted weights his whole life. But I mean, he's like 40 years old and just he's got veins in his neck that just made me be like, how do I get my neck to look like that? Like that's amazing. Like just shredded.
So he was not only yoked, but shredded, too. Like, just no weight, just... Because, some guys get big, but they carry a lot of weight, too.
And this dude used to sometimes get bigger.
Uh-huh.
No, this dude was shredded and big. Not like huge, but
Yeah.
like obvious.
Yeah.
Like his traps had traps. Kind of thing. Like I was like, this is all right, man. And I'm like, what is your secret?
So
And-
you were
Is
sneaked
he?
up.
Is it true? Like true workout, or is it?
Yeah. He works out, 7 days a week nonstop. I mean,
It's not artificial.
that's an interesting question.
Well, you
It's-
have to work out no matter what.
True.
Yes. But you know how last week we were talking about for hymns and Roman
Yeah.
and all of these things?
The boner
Well,
hair pills.
Yeah, the boner hair pills.
Yeah.
Well, they also have all that low T stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I'm talking to him, and he's like, and I'm not using his name intentionally. I'll protect him. But he's like, yeah, man. Like I figured, I looked into this low T thing, and he's like, it's like any other doctor. Like there's going to be doctors who are willing to prescribe a little more of
Yeah.
something, and then there's doctors who don't. He's like, so I did my research. I talked to a handful of docs. He's like, I got it figured out. And then I found a doc who was willing to go, I don't think that's enough testosterone. Like I think you need
Bumped up.
more. Yeah, because he's like, I'm really sluggish. I really feel down in the dumps.
Yeah.
And this dude's probably already, jacked.
Yeah.
Standing there, just like,
Sitting in the office, his knee just shaking from just
yeah.
popping his foot up and down, just can't sit still.
So he found himself a damn
dude
good
married?
doc. Oh yeah. No, I was asking his wife. I was like, any difference in the bedroom? She's like, not that I've noticed. Which I thought was great.
What's the return policy?
But it was amazing. Like he's like, I found this doc, and he's like, see, it's right here. And it was like, these were not pills. Like this was the actual stuff.
Oh,
this is like vials.
So injection.
Yeah, I was like, well, what the hell you do with that? He's like, yeah, man, it's easy. You just jack it in your butt. I was like, that's fantastic.
Get that drop.
It's easy. Jack it in your butt. But it was crazy. He's like, nah, man, it's all prescription. He's like, So they monitor. They're taking my blood work every few months. He's like, we're making sure that we're not overdoing anything. He's like, I just work out real hard and take this. And he's like, and I look pretty good. I'm like, dude, you look like a fucking monster. Like, this is amazing. So now I'm thinking I have low T. I need to fix some things.
I never hear, with all the other prescription drugs, there's the paragraph after paragraph of side effects.
Yes.
That they scroll through real fast.
Yeah, these side effects are like traps, abs, pecs.
But you never hear like those
Delts.
the hair and hair and
like
low T pills. You never hear anything like what's the side effect?
your anus falls out.
Anal leakage.
Yeah.
He said he went to a lot of docs and talked to them, and they're like, if we do it right, then you're gonna be fine. We're gonna.
So is he
monitor it.
feeling better too? Like,
He said he sleeps through the night now. He never used to sleep through the night. He's like, that was a big part of my problem. Like, I wasn't sleeping, which means I wasn't recovering.
Yeah.
So he's like, I feel sharper mentally. Like, I feel sharper. Like, I'm sleeping for sure.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. No one sleeps.
yeah.
So he's like, I'm sleeping, I'm recovering, and the dude's yoked. Now, he's angry all the time.
Oh,
but-
really?
No, he's always been angry.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a.
Well, I have fraternity brothers that would cycle and get quite pissed off. So I do believe that is a side effect, and I believe it holds true. So I don't know, man. Taking any of that stuff just seems weird to me to get on that testosterone, because I hear once you start taking it, then your body stops making it.
Well, and that's my big fear with it, is that you're going to end up in trouble. But, it's the old just cycle off and, get yourself back where you need to be. That's that's apparently the trick.
If you say so, you're a doctor. I'll trust your word.
That I am. I am a doctor for sure. I went to
stayed at a Holiday Inn.
I went to school for 5 years, bro.
That's right.
Definitely a doctor.
That's right.
But yeah, dude looked good, to say the least.
So now, I guess in a couple weeks, we'll be seeing some changes here in the Pallet House.
I mean, I need to find his doc. He's like, the best doc's in Florida. I was like, of
Of
course
course.
the best.
Germany.
The over-prescribing doc is in Florida.
Yeah.
What are the odds? So, yeah, he decided, get it done right. Go down to Florida.
Sounds like dude put in the homework, did the homework.
He always does. He always does. I'm just blown away how everything is legal now.
Yeah,
Like, everything's becoming
as it should be.
more and more legal. It's amazing. It's like we don't have to have soft dicks or no hair.
Yeah.
It's just not happening, or soft biceps anymore.
Yeah.
Like, have it all.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And now, just this past weekend, Chicago just lost their fucking mind.
Your hometown.
Dude, lost their mind, legalized everything.
What they legalize?
They
They already
legalized.
legalized shooting 2 people a weekend.
They had 32 in a day this weekend.
Sounds about right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's even bad by Chicago standards.
Yeah.
That was an unfortunate weekend. But if you scroll down past that Chicago
Okay.
headline, you will also find that they have now legalized sports gambling and table games and everything.
Oh, table games.
Like, outright. So now every single like horse racing track that they have in Chicago is allowed to have like 1,300 games.
Wow.
Be it
Any?
tables, slots, whatever it may be. That's how many they can put in.
Because Rosie's here just does slots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do
and their
electronic
slots
stuff.
is a shitty loophole where it's all old horse races is where the information comes from. So you're
Yeah.
like, you go and it's like, you go tink, tink, tink. Oh, the favorites won or so-and-so won. And you don't
Yeah.
know what horse race they're getting. But because of that, it's a loophole because it's history.
Yeah.
Even though you have no way of knowing which race it is that's going to fly up on your screen.
It's like you said, it's a loophole, just like the lottery is a loophole for gambling. Virginia hasn't had gambling for years, but the state ironically allows for lottery, which is
Yeah.
gambling.
So this is the crazy shit, though. They're going to put sports books in all of the sporting venues. This means you can go to Wrigley now. While you're at Wrigley, put $100 on the Cubs, and then go watch the game.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's how it was when I read it. They said that all of the actual venues will now also have sports gambling. So I can go to the Bulls game and lose all that money
Yeah.
in one night.
Yeah.
As
You
opposed
wouldn't have to wait around.
It'd be beautiful. Then
I'm not a big gambler. I like gambling occasionally. I feel like that could be a very slippery slope. I feel like a lot of people get
gambling's a tough one.
yes.
Gambling's a tough one. But in an effort to curb the impulsive decisions of gambling, they also decided to legalize marijuana fully recreational this weekend.
So they're going to do it'll be like California where they'll have dispensaries everywhere and you can just walk in there and buy it?
Yeah. Like full blown legal.
Maybe they'll mellow out all the shootings.
It can't hurt.
Actually, you got to wonder, will that have an effect? Because you got to think some of those shootings are drug related, right? So
you're definitely getting rid of the pot.
Yeah.
But you're not getting rid of the cocaine and the heroin and the meth and all the things that are ravaging those neighborhoods.
Pills
are the fucking worst.
Yeah.
But they've shown that when you legalize marijuana, pill addictions tend to decline in those areas because many people don't like being addicted to something, you know? So if they're able to be like, oh, I smoked a joint and I wasn't in as much pain and I didn't really want to throw up from not having pills. So
well, you always hear about the pill heads. It all starts with, something that was prescribed after an injury, after a surgery.
Yeah. I had an injury and then I started taking pills.
Yeah.
And then the pills started getting expensive. You know what was dirt cheap? Heroin.
Yeah.
So boom.
Fentanyl.
Well, they don't want the fentanyl. The fentanyl just comes with it. That's the problem. That's where you get caught up. You don't realize what you're doing. And it's all the more reason. Just say no, kids.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and it's everybody thinks it's like somewhere else, but like it happened next door to me. I mean, dude fell off his roof, hurt his back. Next thing he knows, 3 years later, he's gone through retirement, 401k. He's gone through everything, and then he's starting to steal from his daughter. And then the side effect of it was his insides got completely done, and within a 3-year time spread, he's dead.
Wow.
Jeez. That's just
I had a college buddy get hooked on all that stuff.
Don't get on your roof, people.
Exactly.
And he was successful, and he actually ended up going to a rehab and actually got cleaned up and actually saved his marriage and his job and all that stuff. But I mean, it's scary. But
he still had to go through that to save it.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. So,
yeah, but that's got to be a percentage point of people that actually do that.
Yeah, I mean, once you're hooked on that stuff, it's pretty hard.
You hear about
relapses are pretty normal.
You hear about whole small towns and cities that are just full of people, just pillheads. Just that's what everybody's doing.
Yeah, destroy entire towns in a fell swoop. Because if everyone's doing it, it feels pretty damn normal. Like we drink every Monday night in here, and we feel like it's pretty normal. It's because we're surrounding ourselves with people drinking.
Yeah.
Just makes it very simple.
Yep.
But hopefully we will see a decline in some of that in Chicago. But now Chicago has to become way up the bachelor party list above where it ever was prior, because now you can gamble and you can smoke weed and you could always get drunk.
Now, I've never been there, but I would automatically say I would rather go, if that's the party I'm looking for, I would rather go to Colorado or California.
There's different things, but like you get Wrigley, like people love going to Cubs games. You get a lot of the
probably
things
more
that
bars,
Chicago
more
has.
nightlife in Chicago. Just you don't have the weather and it's not as beautiful as those other two states.
Well, no, it's a shortened window.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You have to go in the summer. I mean, you don't go there in February because you want to go to Chicago. You just don't do it. But if it's June, Chicago's a pretty awesome place to be. Have a few drinks, eat your face off. I mean, it's amazing. So
get stoned and eat all the deep dish pizza you want.
So in a single weekend, Chicago completely changed their course. 2 different bills just came right through on like Friday and passed. Recreational, gambling.
Well, that'd be fun to see where that goes.
Well, it says they're going to employ at least 5,000 more people with gambling as far as what they project.
And that's just in city limits.
Yeah.
Because it's only Chicago.
It's Illinois.
Oh, all of Illinois.
Yeah, it was Illinois that did it.
Oh, wow.
So it's just Chicago just got a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Real quick.
I'm not going to Sheboygan or whatever. Or Sheboygan's in Wisconsin. But, you're not going to Naperville.
Yeah.
They got gambling now. It's just.
But actually, people will. People will just drive across the border to any of these towns that are just on the inside of Illinois. And
there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we do here, right? I mean, you hit a state line here, and there's fireworks or whatever, and people. I mean, you don't venture deep into the state.
Just about every state you go to, when you cross over, there's that store that has the thing you can't get.
Yeah, like cigarettes and lottery tickets are huge here. People drive down from New York and in northern states to buy the cheap cigarettes and the.
We used to have to do that every time we went to Jersey. Like when my wife and I would go up there to see her family, we'd have to bring like 10 cartons of cigarettes because it costs nothing here compared to Jersey and New York.
Yep.
I was just getting ready to say, I mean, you said lottery tickets and lottery and tobacco, but at the same time I was thinking to myself, what is it that we're really offering that people look forward to crossing the border into Virginia? When all I can think of is
pasties.
South Carolina. Well, yeah, exactly. South Carolina, you got the fireworks. You go to, well, I mean, when we were in school, you went across the border because there was no pasties in West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I'm fully aware. Yeah, that's very true, though. I guess the reason we're so sensitive to it is we're always crossing the border, and then those places are right there on the other side.
Yeah.
Because everywhere we go, there's better stuff. You go to Pennsylvania, you get the fireworks. Down to North Carolina, well, you have to go to South Carolina to get the good fireworks.
Yeah.
But even Maryland, like if you're near the border, it is a bigger pain in the ass to go there to buy booze, but it's cheaper because it's not ABC regulated.
Yep.
Right.
So you go and find the local liquor store that's having a sale on.
You go to a
on
7-Eleven and get your liquor.
Is that why they say Richmond's great? Because it's 2 hours from everything? You know,
pretty much.
2 hours to D.C., 2 hours to the beach, 2 hours to the border, North Carolina.
It's not 2 hours to Chicago.
No.
Unfortunate.
Couple hours to the mountains.
Chicago's going to be very different next year. Going to be very different.
You excited?
I'm excited to go to a Cubs game and put money on the game. Like, that would be a very different vibe.
Yeah.
I've never had the opportunity to do something like that. Like, that's all I do
Make
when I'm in
people
Vegas.
stay to the end of a game.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah, the crowds never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I do when I'm in Vegas typically is
Sports books.
every morning, get up and go down there and, like, place all my bets on all the different games of the day. And then it's like come back at the end of the day and see where I netted out.
Yeah.
Watch games. I mean, I find that to be more fun than $100
tables.
on blackjack. And it's like, boo,
Yeah.
I just lost it. But $100 on a game, it's an exciting game. It's like 4 hours of activity.
Well, and you can spread it around to $20 on 5 games.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Hedge your bets. You only lose $20. You always win a couple.
I don't know why people. I mean, I know Chicago is great. I mean, it's a great city. It's a great place to visit.
Tread
but
lightly,
it is just so fucking cold.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the mistake of being in boot camp from October to February.
Yeah, you said it all.
In Chicago?
Yeah, Great Lakes, where the Naval Boot Camp is just, just right there on the water.
Oh, wow.
And the lake effect. I mean, it was just. I was like, I had never been so cold in my life. And, yeah, it's great. We went downtown. We went to the Bulls games. I mean, I had a blast.
It's a blast.
But I couldn't feel my fingertips.
Yeah, that adds up.
All
That's
extremities.
Chicago. That's Chicago. And that wasn't the weed. That was the temps. Yeah, I'm psyched, though. That's going to be a different – I think that will become the bachelor party.
Would that be worse than the Marine boot camp down there in the swamp of
Paris Island?
Paris Island,
you got
Camp
a question.
Lejeune, like that's
There's a debate. I mean,
the middle of summer. I mean, that's
I would
miserable.
much rather sweat. I do have to say, I would much rather sweat in the cold versus it's hot and you can't cool off. But I do have to say, doing the gas mask event, like going through the whole gas chamber, there's nothing like having more liquid come out of every single orifice on your face because you've been exposed to the gas, and then you step outside in 0 degrees.
And it freezes
and
up.
it just sticks right to you.
Yeah.
It's worse.
So you're saying that's worse?
I don't know. I don't
I don't
if
know
it's worse or
because
not, but
it
it's
probably
just,
sucks too when you're down there in the heat doing it and all your pores are open.
I'll give Paris Island its fair due because I didn't have to deal with sand fleas. I didn't have to deal with the heat. I had to deal with shoveling snow at 2 a.m. forever. But it's the Navy. It's not that bad.
Being cold does suck.
I love that. It's the Navy.
The older I get, the more I dislike the cold. That is for sure.
Yeah, you got to go live in Chicago for a year, and then you'll really not mind this, but so much.
Yeah.
This is pretty mild. So, but I had that beat out of me when I went to Arizona because then you just sweat. And you kind of forget the cold.
Yeah.
By the time I got to Virginia, I was like, now this is all right. No desert heat, no snow for 6 months on the ground. Like this is all right.
There is snow for extended periods of time in Chicago, right?
Oh yeah, because it comes down and then it's on they get it out of the streets and off the sidewalks, but the rest of it for the most part is there, or at least ice. There's always a thin sheet of ice on the lawns and shit. It's bad.
Sounds like
it's fun. It's fun. Hey, everything's legal now.
I just hate getting
testosterone
bundled up every time you want to go somewhere. That's what I really like. You want to go out, make a quick run to the store. You got to like put your gloves on, put your jacket on. Like it's an event.
Yeah, it's like Christmas Story.
Yeah, you don't slide your flip flops on and walk out the door in your t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, it's not easy. There's no just I'm gonna go run to the store.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, everybody's sure they don't need anything because I
always hear about people dying, like just getting drunk and dying. In the cold.
But the polar vortex that happened a little more often. That was bad, but like that happens everywhere. What are you looking at up there, Stu?
Where we want to travel to for our bachelor parties.
There you go. So this is
10 states that have
fully
legal
recreational, and see that's old because this
is the 2019. This is May of this year.
Yeah, but so next year
it'll be
Illinois will switch over.
Right.
That's insane.
So Maine, Vermont.
Oh, you can actually just look at that map and tell what those are?
I passed 8th grade social studies and I think, I'm not sure.
All these green,
the entire West Coast, yeah.
All these green ones are legal.
Medical.
The bright green. Bright green is
the yellow?
No, yeah, for you, Brendan. The bright green is legal, like recreational.
But there's half the states are green.
Half the states. Half of them are medical. Half of them are
except for the entire South, except for Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Texas, because they don't adhere to our laws anyway.
Yeah.
They're not one of us. They do their own thing.
So the entire left coast is
except for dirty
recreational.
Idaho.
And then we're going to get Michigan. Go up there.
Hold on. Utah's definitely one of those ones not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a medical though.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, because of the
So Utah's more strict than Virginia.
And apparently, if you border the Mississippi River, it's legal
on the west side.
On the west side of the river, you can have it medically.
See, there's gonna be a lot of people crossing that river.
There's a lot of business running ferries back and forth.
That's right.
Yep. You get on the boat. There's a doctor sitting there. He writes you a script on the other side.
What's crazy is all those southern states. They're all the ones where the pills and all the bad stuff's going down.
You know what I'd be curious to see?
It's funny.
I'd be curious to see how, because like in Baton Rouge, down in Louisiana, or a lot of these states, you can't gamble in the state, but you can do riverboat casinos because it's governed completely different by Parks and Rec or whatever.
Yeah, you're on the water,
inland fisheries or whatever.
That's where I placed my my Bulls bet.
What about smoking? What about marijuana? All the other stuff when you're on the lakes, on the rivers, who's governing that? And wonder if it's legal there.
That's an interesting angle.
Yeah.
Or I guess one of those other states could put a boat on the other side of the river just off the shore, a little walking bridge. Yep. Basically all good. Loopholes.
This is one of those things we're all going to look back on and be like, remember there was a time where not everyone had it?
Yeah. People are going to be sitting around smoking bowls.
And people are going to be
on, gays couldn't get married? You know what I mean? It's like the same thing. It's like you look back and you're like, why? That doesn't make any sense.
But you got to wonder, like, what about all the people that are in jail, in prison for marijuana charges? Now it's like.
So in Illinois, anyone who had under 30 grams that's in jail, pardoned.
Wow.
As of January.
Yeah.
Like they'll be allowed out. Anyone who had, because that's what it is, 30 grams.
Yeah.
It's like what you can legally have. And if you're from out of state, you can only have 15
And that's not that
grams.
much, right?
I wouldn't know, Troy.
I know. But, like, I mean, a gram isn't a lot. I don't know what it would break down to, but I mean.
No, I mean, there's no reason you would ever need more than 30 grams.
Yeah.
Especially when you can go buy 30 grams and then, well, I guess after that you go buy more. You're still now illegal.
Yeah.
And if you're from out of state, you can have 15. So they did knock you down a little bit if you're, from Indiana.
Okay.
They're like, no, you only get this. But it is very interesting. Like, you're right. But now, so anyone who had 30 pardoned, like you're clear. And then anyone who had more than that, they still have to deal with their sentence.
Makes sense. I mean, that's some petty shit, man.
It is.
It's saving a ton of money.
Yes.
I mean, we spend.
You know what it costs to house someone?
Well, it's average. I mean, in Virginia, the average inmate is $27K a year.
That's crazy.
And if you're in for how much marijuana you got on you, and they're going to charge you, I mean,
yeah,
it's astronomical.
It's a huge net loss there. Like, the street value of that drug was $500,
right?
And we got your ass for $27,000 a year now.
You don't even think about that cost. Like, they always talk about the money coming in, but you're forgetting about all the money you're saving because you're not having to house all these prisoners, the court fees, all that stuff.
No, I just knew that because for a time my dad was a prison guard. He had that as a side job at one time, and he told me all about it. I mean,
it's a rough gig.
We won't go there. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Well, it's weird, too, because in Virginia, and I don't know if it's everywhere else, we have the private prisons where they're making money. You know, it's like, so it behooves them to have petty crimes get imprisoned for long terms, because then the private industry is making the money because it's subsidized from the government, which...
Well, yeah, but either way, you're still paying. I mean, the government's taxpayer dollars are still going towards that, and that's just...
Yes, but there's kickbacks and all that shady shit.
I thought for sure I was going to prison the other day.
For?
Being a good dad.
Uh-oh.
Being a good dad.
You tried that?
Yeah. And almost went to prison. Took back that. I was like, run a lap.
Yep. Backing out.
No, so I went, my daughter was doing a school project on bees. And it's like, we worked on this for a month at least, where every day, she'd come home with new bee facts, and we would talk about bees and why they're important and all those kind of things. And she was really into it. So eventually there was like the culmination of all of this work was a day in which all of the kids had to give speeches about bees, and everyone had like their part. Like, I know about this, like why it's happening, or I know about hives. And so you would go into the classroom, and all the kids were divided into groups of 4, and they all had tables with their presentation set up. And you would go around table to table, and they would teach you like their rehearsed speech. And it was adorable. I mean, all these little kids talking about bees. And then some shady organization that's trying to save the bees, that was not Nectar Sunglasses, but every time you buy a Nectar Sunglass, they do put money towards saving the bees, and you can save 30%.
What's the best way of doing that?
Drop ITPH in the coupon code.
Nice.
You do that.
And
you
20%, you said?
No, that was the old coupon code.
So now it's more.
30%.
30%.
So go to Nectar Sunglasses, drop ITPH in the coupon code, get 30% off, and save the bees. Or you can go to my daughter's school, and there's this shady organization, and they're selling beeswax candles at $10 a candle, and like all the profits go to supporting bees.
Or some of the profits. Who
knows? They made... Well, I asked the kids, and they were like, it all goes to the bees. And I was like, boy, that's a really good deal.
That's a hell of a business model.
Yeah, for the bees.
Yeah.
So they have all these beeswax candles, right? And I ended up buying 4 of them. So maybe it was $10 for 2. That's what it was, because I remember I dropped $20 on the bees. So
little candles, I guess.
These are like your typical, foot long candle.
Oh, like an old school candle. I'm thinking.
Yeah, and it's just
jar.
literally wrapped up, like it's like flattened out wax, and then they just roll it up, wrapped around a wick, and then that's all the candle is.
Yeah.
So it's about as natural as it gets. Like, there's people in Williamsburg going, that's old school, dude. So I picked up 4 of these candles, and then they had them wrapped around with like some string, and then the wicks, coming out the top. That's basically all it is. So I've got these 4 candles in my hand, and I've got them kind of bunched up, and I finish everything, and I'm like, all right, baby, I'm going to go. Like, you guys did a great job. And I'm heading out, and all the kids are like lined up in the hall, like from different classrooms. I think they were going to like gym class or something at this point. And so there's this line, single file line of kids, and I'm walking past them on the way out, holding my candles. And this one kid goes, "Oh my gosh, is that a bomb?"
No, he didn't.
And screams. And I look down in my hand, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks exactly like a cartoon bomb. Like this is
like sticks of dynamite or something.
yeah. I was like, this looks precisely what a child would think Wile E. Coyote would bring to blow up a school.
Yeah.
So he's screaming his head off, is that a bomb? Is that
Oh
a
my
bomb?
God.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, no, man. No, it's cool. It's candles. It's candles. And
Yeah.
I'm showing it. And now all the other kids are tripping and they're like, what is it? Is it a bomb? What's going on? And I'm like, it's candles. It's candles. And I just keep moving. And now the teachers are all looking over at me and I'm like, it's candles from the Bee Project. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like hands against the wall. And I was just waiting for there to be some like marshal or something in the school, like, take me out.
Yeah.
Laying there dead with $20 of beeswax candles. I couldn't believe it, though. The kids screaming, it's a bomb. I'm like,
I
no.
wonder where he learned that from.
From fucking cartoons.
No, not the fact that he thought it was a bomb. The fact that he had a hair trigger to like.
See something, say something.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been trained 6
Yeah,
ways to
see
Sunday. See something, say something.
Yeah.
This kid saw me, and he was like, I'm going to be the
That
hero.
dude looks shady as fuck.
That dude's got a bomb and
Yeah.
smells like booze.
Based on the charge, it's 16 to 20.
There it is.
Oh wow.
Look at that. So he looks it up. So I'm freaked out now, and I'm like, it's candles. And like, I'm like bolting out of the school.
Yeah.
As soon as I got out, I took a picture and was like, this looks just like a bomb. I couldn't believe it. So I brought him home and just set him up like a bomb when my daughter got home.
You still have that picture? We should post it.
I do. I'll send you it. I mean, it looks like a damn bomb. But I thought for sure, I was like, oh, man, I'm about to get tackled. I'm going down.
Blindsided,
It was
cuffed up, roughed up.
cuffed up, roughed up. That's exactly. And I was just like looking around for the cops, but fortunately, it was all like, young teachers.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this goes down, I'll hit them with the bomb and run. Light one of them and chuck it and just take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, I'm glad you made it out.
Me too. I thought for sure I was getting a mandatory minimum. Bringing a bomb in a school. It's like, fuck.
Have the counselors called yet? Said we need to discuss this.
No, fortunately, I mean, I think I pleaded my case very quickly and it's just candles from the Bee Project, the second grade Bee Project.
They're like, yes, we know it's not a bomb, but it looked like a bomb, and therefore it's impersonation, and you're still going to jail, sir.
I'm sure it's not the first time anybody's heard this or knows somebody who did this, but I knew a buddy in high school. We twice from the payphone inside the cafeteria called the bomb threat in.
What?
Wow.
And back then you didn't have the whole
Yeah.
technology concern or whatnot. They're just
Well,
like,
and there wasn't school shootings back then.
no, but it was just like, hey, let's
Not good.
let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
make a phone call.
That's not good. That's not good. Troy, I'm thirsty.
Oh, is it time?
Yes. Oh, Stu's catching on. He's like, doing a deli. I like it.
I never know what a deli is because I know we got a lot of new listeners.
The deli, well, it doesn't make as much sense as it once did because Ely's not here. I don't know where he is, but our friend Ely, who's on the show all the time, he'll be back. He doesn't like a lot of beer, and he certainly doesn't like IPAs. So we created the Deli Award. It's Does Ely Like It?
Acronym.
And if it gets a 4 out of 5 across the board, it wins the deli, which is a prestigious award, let me tell you.
Doesn't happen very, very often. What did you bring in today, Brendan?
So I've actually been drinking a lot of Cigar City beers from Florida, and the High Lie is the one people typically drink. People love the High Lie. It's a strong, potent IPA, and it's considered one of the best. And if you go down south, really people drink a lot of High Lie, in particular in Florida. But in honor of some of the topics today, I tried the After Sesh from Cigar City Brewing.
This is ale brewed with orange, lime, and salt. It's 4.5%. It says Skate Park of Tampa and Cigar City Brewing, two Florida originals, have collaborated on this crisp beer with notes of lime, orange, and salt that can be enjoyed after a skate session or anytime you're with friends.
So look on top of the old kegerator there.
Oh, yeah.
That is the Tampa Skate Park. That's one of the oldest, best skate parks in the world. So I thought this was a cool beer to try. Let's see how it is. It's the After Sesh Cigar City Brewing
Here's a neat little fact that I just found out looking, which is actually a really good one, because it's named after it's going with the skate park deal in Tampa. When they sell the beer, portions of it goes to Boards and Bros, which is a charity.
See, respect.
Getting youth into skating and taking them off the street, which is pretty good.
Skateboarding is not a crime.
Thank you, Troy. I can appreciate that.
But, fucking somebody's property up is.
Well, they're just giving.
That's why you go to the skate park.
I know.
Yeah. But they're giving money to.
But it was always funny when it's like skateboarding's not a crime. It's like, you've been doing 50-50 grinds down this railing and waxing it up, and now the whole fucking thing is just wrecked.
Yeah, like you're doing acid drops off the top of that dude's car.
Yeah.
That's not fair. I mean, that's not cool.
Yes, if you're skateboarding down the street, that is not a crime.
But this is the official Cigar City Brewing after sesh beer.
Orange lime and salt sounds delicious to me.
It's supposed to be refreshing. They add salt to beers because it somehow makes them more refreshing. I guess in the same way that Gatorade's littered with salt.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, finally.
Well, I know back when I first started drinking, some of the old guys that I was drinking with would add salt to all beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A Bud Light, or whatever.
That sounds like a Waterman thing.
No,
Just
yeah.
throw a little bit of salt in it.
My dad used to. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Fancy
Damn.
stuff. Well, this beer does not taste salty. Now that I've had it a little bit, it's an interesting beer. I could see how this would go down as a refreshing after
very
after
light,
a skate
very crisp
session beer. Yeah, this is all right. I don't want to give away too much just yet, but this is funny because if you recall, we had the Otra Vase not long ago, the
Yes.
Sierra Nevada Otra Vase, and that was a fantastic summer beer because it had all that Bud Light lime
Yes.
going on in it, which was good. This feels a lot more high end than the Otra Vase even.
Well, I'll go first.
Go for it.
This beer's tastes just fine. To me, it's a little lacking on all the flavors that it says it has. It's very refreshing, very light, very crisp, and very underwhelming in the flavor department for me. I don't know if I would pick up on any three of those flavors. It says
Not the orange or the lime?
not on the first two sips. It's very underwhelming.
Huh. Interesting.
I will second that.
So you both feel like it's very light on the orange flavor.
I can kind of taste the hint of both those citrus flavors, but it's not overwhelming. It's not orangey per se. It's not limey per se. It has
citrusy.
It has a very slight back end citrus flavor, and I guess the salt cuts that probably.
Supposed to.
So I could definitely see crushing a bunch of these because it's just very light. It's not heavy.
It's pretty tasty. So what would you give it 1 to 5?
Oh, let's see. I mean, as far as taste goes, it tastes just fine, but I wish it had more. So I can't give it a deli per se because I would like it to have more. But it's a 3.5. It's a delicious beer, very light, very very refreshing. Doesn't overpower you like the hops in the IPA and make you kind of either you like it or you don't. I think anybody could drink this is what I'm getting at.
You certainly can't define this as a hop beer.
No.
Right? It's not an IPA. It's not. The ale in it is probably the most forgotten flavor for me.
Yes.
What about you, Stu?
I'm literally trying to figure out these flavors. They say they're on the side of the can, but I can't find them.
Well, yeah.
To be honest with you.
I like to not read too much into it.
Yeah.
No. I know. I'm just trying to.
No, but if
maybe
it's
it is
marketed to me, if it's marketed as one thing, then it should deliver in whatever that thing is.
I would say that it's not going to go above a 3 for me, just because maybe it is the salt, but there's no. Like I want a full flavor. Like I just not a full flavor, but I just want. Maybe it's lacking the. Almost like the carbonation. Maybe it's the salt.
It does. It's not very carbonated,
No,
despite
and
being
that's-
refreshing. Which
Yeah.
is
It's.
odd.
I think anybody that would drink this would be like. you'd be fine. You'd just be, hey, this is a beer. Here you go. It's not necessarily. I know I'm dumbing it down, but
Well, to me, like this is a microbrew, so you're paying microbrew prices.
Yeah, this
So-
was $10.
Yeah, if you're
six-pack.
paying $10 for a 6-pack, then I'm gonna want a little more out of it. Otherwise, I'll just drink Coors Lights and call it a day.
I think that's maybe what screwed it up since we've had one of those prior to. Because I'm feeling all the carbonation from a Coors, and this doesn't have it.
And I just realized that I have a orange flavored Zin in a citrus.
Yeah, that could
Details.
that
I
could
need to take that out. I realized I'm like, well, I don't agree with these guys at all. I'm gonna go ahead, finish up, Stu. I'm gonna rinse my mouth.
Let me just put a Jolly Rancher in this.
So Stu and I are about the same. We're 3.5. You said,
Yeah, I'm 3. It's, I don't know.
I do think everyone would like this beer. I don't think many people would turn this beer away.
I would say real quick, it disappears. Like
Yes,
that.
it does.
Like after you, it's in your mouth, and
Which I appreciate. That's what I hate about hoppy IPAs is that it makes my mouth feel funky, and I don't like the funk.
Okay, I've taken out the Zin. I've gotten rid of the citrus flavor in my mouth. I was like, boy, I don't agree at all. I still don't agree with you guys.
Okay,
I think that
you can be wrong.
Yeah, well, I think it just goes to show that palates pick up on different things.
Yeah.
I mean, because when I taste it, let me try one more without.
One more sip.
Yeah, when I taste it, it reminds me very much of the way the lime tastes if you get like a Corona or something, you put the lime in it. Like I
Yeah.
get that much lime flavor. So I
So
think
a hint.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean though? Like you put a lime in, it changes the profile of the beer. I find it somewhere in between if you're drinking a Corona with a lime and a Blue Moon with an orange. I taste
But both of those beers have more flavor in and of themselves.
this is closer to a Blue Moon than anything
Corona.
else.
Yeah, because the Coronas have a skunky. This does not have the skunk.
Exactly. It's just that little hint of lime, though. I
Yeah.
certainly taste the lime. What I like about the lime here is it's not as fake as the Ultra Base, which is far
Yeah.
better than a Bud Light lime,
Yes.
which is far too limey. This has a little bit of lime, a little bit of orange. I think it's pronounced. I taste it for sure, whereas you guys are saying you don't taste it a lot. I taste it so much that I question if I could have more than a few of these. So it's very
Wow.
interesting that you guys are on that side of the coin. But I agree, it's highly refreshing. I actually really like if you like orange and lime, I think you would love this beer.
I mean, it goes down easy. Let's.
Oh, it's almost gone.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
If we're speaking to the flavor, it's a little.
Yeah, I taste
That's
the
my
orange and lime
problem.
big
It's just,
time.
to me, it's not nearly enough going on.
I think it's
So
got
you-
so much going on. I'm completely on the other
That
side
is
of you,
weird.
but I'm still giving it a 3.5 because I like it a lot. But I don't think it's one that I would say this is a deli. But I do think that now when I go to grab the Ultra Base, I may grab this instead
Yes.
because I like it. I like that it's 4.5% alcohol. It's not overly. I can drink this at a barbecue or cookout, whatever it may be. I like this beer a lot. I'm giving it a 3.5. I think that's a really tasty beer. Really tasty beer. And it's extremely refreshing. The fact that it doesn't have all those bubbles and it's kind of soft and goes away quickly. I could see how this after a skate park session, which I would
Or
know
just-
nothing about.
Rolling around
Yeah.
in somebody's backyard, eating some barbecue. And
That's what I'm saying. It's a
bullshitting,
perfect
yeah.
barbecue beer. If you're standing in the sun, I doubt you could beat
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is perfect for that.
I think you had a valid point. Like, this is great for all of those things, but what you're talking about doing with it doesn't justify the price.
Yes.
That is the kick in the teeth.
It's like, let me just grab a 12-pack of it,
Yeah.
and if it's $8.99, great.
Yeah.
Well, if
Or
it was a
$12.99.
12 pack for $13, it's a good deal.
Right.
12 pack for $20 is a problem.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But I think if you want something refreshing, I think it's good. I think all of us agree it's a flavorful and tasty
Yeah, we
beer.
all like it.
So that's a positive.
I'll give it a B+ for the
It's good
colors
marketing.
and can.
Yeah.
I mean, the can itself is.
Well, and the
Brendan
money.
doesn't know, but
The
it's
money-
a good looking can.
Oh, what color is it?
So the bottom's a light orange. The top is like a light blue, teal with hints of green, and then the after sesh is in orange as well.
That is funny. Okay.
You don't see that at all, huh?
No, it's a gray can with either green or orange on the bottom, and after sesh is like a green or orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, gray, green, orange. So it's
Same thing.
you said blue. It seems.
It
fair.
looks
It's,
like it actually kind of looks like a toned down version of the Dolphins colors.
Oh yeah, the Miami.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins. Yeah, it does.
Which is the other side of the state, but
that adds up though.
yeah.
But if you look in there closely, what they've got is the orange being squeezed. They got a guy upside down on a skateboard. They got a salt shaker.
They got a guy.
Pretty dope.
They're doing the skate park is just falling
Dude
apart.
taking a siesta right
yeah,
here.
exactly. It's so yeah, I'll give them for the can artwork is that's pretty good.
Yeah, Cigar City is
Now,
quietly
that's-
crushing it.
They are. I was actually reading something the other day that it's the number one drank beer in Florida across the board, the High
Yeah.
Lie, and which is funny because that seems like Bud Light country to me for sure.
No doubt.
Can I ask a quick question?
No.
Moving on.
Go ahead, Stu.
Because I don't know much about this, but
See, we had one listener that was glad I cut him off.
Yeah.
yeah.
At least one.
So the cigar, are they saying that these certain beers pair up with certain cigars by chance?
No, it's a Cuban thing.
Just check. Okay.
So Tampa's known as like Cigar City, I guess, maybe?
I
Like, are
just
they known for their-
think that you get a lot of Cubans.
Yeah, but
and-
that's Miami, not Tampa. Or I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
But I think that like
Just
they're
Florida in general?
spread out. Yeah, I think you do get that. But I don't know that Tampa's a cigar.
Is that where they're going to build the wall around South Florida?
Well, if enough people
Okay.
vote,
That's going to be awkward.
True.
I can't get to the beach.
we did it the wrong way. They're all on the beach. We fucked this up. And the taco stands suck now. The fuck happened? Yeah, that would have been great. That makes me happy.
Oh.
So yeah, no, this is the second best thing I've had this week.
This is good. I would definitely recommend it. What's the first?
Yeah. What's the number one? What's
Yeah.
number one?
Oh well, Liverpool's the champ.
Yes, that was exciting.
I mean, this is a big deal, right?
Huge deal.
I mean, look, we had Terrence in here last week,
Last week
Yeah.
talking about it.
Totally missed that.
who owns Penny Lane Pub, which is
The premier pub in Richmond.
but it's the Liverpool fan club.
Well, they have lots of fan clubs.
But
there.
that's the one here.
Yeah.
I mean, like people come out when it comes to Premier League soccer, the place to be is Penny Lane Pub. I mean,
Yes.
that's what people, they open up at 6 a.m.
3
so
in the
that-
morning sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends. Terrence has put it
Well,
out there.
you
Yeah.
can't serve beer till 6, Stu. If you could,
can still watch the
if you could just say 6 with me, that would be
So I know, like, other teams have their club watch parties there too, not just Liverpool.
great. They do. He just happens. His father's from Liverpool.
Yes,
So they're diehard Liverpool.
yes.
And the
so are we.
Beatles, the Beatles are from. Well, I am now.
Yeah.
Because I'm a homer.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch Premier League soccer ever.
Ever.
I just knew Manchester was like the big dog.
Yeah.
Manchester United was like the team. And Terrence was like, no, they suck.
They're trash.
We're Liverpool
Yeah.
fans. And I can honestly say that when I first met Terrence and he was hyping up Liverpool, they weren't very good.
Yes.
Now, I would sound like a true bandwagon fan to say that I am a diehard fan now, but I do have a Liverpool scarf,
Yes. I want one of those.
and I wear it all the time.
I mean, I root for Penny Lane and I root for Terrence, so
Yeah.
therefore I'm going to root for.
And I always say this when people see my scarf and they see the Liverpool, they go, Liverpool fan? I say, you will not walk alone. You shall not walk. Whenever you say that, they go, yeah, all right, dude.
High five.
I have no idea what that means, but they always say it.
I always say to Terrence, "Go Big Red," because I know that's
Yeah.
that's one of their sayings.
Yeah, see, I just have catchphrases.
Yeah.
I have Liverpool catchphrases that I throw at people. And
Yes.
So Penny Lane was going off.
So
Was
he
going off.
had they closed down for the public because they had the Liverpool fan club there and they had the Hotspurs fan club upstairs. So I
the Tottenham, the
yeah,
motherfuckers they
Tottenham were so they were upstairs while they were showing it on all the TVs. So I said, well, how'd that go afterwards? Like
it always does.
fist fights and
with
like
punches and crying and
well, of
people
course.
getting pregnant.
No. He said they came down and congratulated him and were, nice and everybody was, really cordial.
So it wasn't a real.
So it wasn't
party.
like European football.
That's weak.
But yeah, I was surprised to hear that.
But despite all the hype, and congratulations to all the Liverpool fans out there. Congratulations, Terrence and Penny Lane.
Yeah.
Happy for you all. But that is not what got me excited about that game. There was a moment in time where we had a streaker. And boy, howdy, did we have a streaker.
What did he look like?
He was about 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Actually, he had a tremendous rack,
Oh.
and he was a she.
Oh.
And
Like transitioned?
if this is transition, then I'm switching
Then you're
teams.
all for it?
Yeah, I'm switching teams. Like, I'm all in. Like, because
Yeah, these pictures of this streaker.
her name was Kinsey Wolonsky. And if you get a chance to look her up, she doesn't look Polish. She's fantastic.
She's built like Kate Upton.
Built almost exactly like Kate Upton.
Yeah.
And she came running out, and she was wearing a bathing suit that said Vitaly Uncensored.
Which,
And it's for a one-piece bathing suit, you see it all.
yeah.
Like it was riding up every crack she had.
Yes.
It was
Front, back.
amazing. Yeah, like tremendously. And she came running out and streaked the field, and it's everywhere. Like if you go on
Yeah.
Twitter and look it up and check out the Vitaly Uncensored photos, I mean, this girl got out there and she went from like 100,000 Instagram followers
To all
to
the Instagram.
millions
Yeah.
and millions of followers in one fell swoop. So
I hadn't thought about it, or I kind of thought about it. I was like, why is she doing this for her boyfriend? This is
she
silly.
did it for her too.
Yeah, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
now
she's-
she's a celeb.
She just became, and she seems like a ton of fun. Like if you look
Oh,
in the
yeah.
photos, she looks like she's having a blast. Like
Yeah.
dodging these people, and the security guards looked super psyched to be chasing her down.
They're like, I don't have to grab the 400-pound naked dude.
Yeah, she and so Liverpool was leading 1-0, and this woman just came out and took across the field, and wow, I didn't know soccer was so cool. Or football, but very much you're right. Very Kate Upton look, where she kind of has that round face
Yeah.
of Kate Upton, and she's not
she's got
like
curves
she's
in
not
all the
like
right
waif,
places.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not waif thin.
Yeah.
like
Well,
she was.
She's from Sacramento, California, 1996 birth date.
Good God.
What are the odds? Yeah, she was in Maxim, Sports Illustrated. Like she's been in all kinds of magazines. Like she's a legit star. But
5
she,
feet 5 inches. Scroll down there, Stu.
The highlights.
Okay. Yeah.
So
fantastic. She has. It's fantastic. But she promoted this dude, whatever he is, Vitaly Uncensored.
he's a Russian American YouTuber.
And I can't tell if he's like a porn guy or
Yeah.
if he's like pranks and stuff.
Well,
'Cause
what
if
did
you
the
go
website say? It's like it was like funny pranks and
pranks and shenanigans or something crazy. Stu would have to look it up, find that dude's
but
website,
the
and
uncensored.
and sign up for it. Stu, while you're over there. Just you're using your computer, so sign
yeah.
up.
You guys,
Put your credit card in there.
Yep.
I'm sure that Russian's trustworthy. Look at her.
We'll get you back.
Inside
Yeah,
Pallet House got a credit card I can just log on.
Yeah, it's whatever yours is. We certainly do. Enjoy yourself. But if you haven't had a chance to go check her out, she was definitely the highlight of the Liverpool game. If you're not a diehard Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
She was glorious. Like I was
She's easy
all
on
in,
the eyes.
to say the least. So I'm a big fan. I'm a Vitaly Uncensored guy now. Like,
This guy's a tool.
He
Is
does
he?
look like a tool.
is he? Because he's killing it.
Brendan looks like he would like to be him.
I think previously when we were talking about for him,
Is this his
and
Twitter
muscles on top
profile?
of muscles. This guy's
Oh yeah, he's steroided out. There's no doubt.
He's
about
that guy in the gym that's wearing a tank top that
Yeah,
is
that's not
smaller
the real
than,
dude. Like
You don't
that's-
think so?
That dude has 4 tweets.
oh, never mind.
Stu is looking at a
Wrong
website
guy.
with 4 tweets.
That's the real boyfriend.
That's some classic Troy moves right there, Stu.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah, speaking of Troy moves, I could go for another beer.
Oh, yeah, I can do that for you.
Oh, I think her site was pulled down. Like her Instagram was yes, please. Her Instagram was taken down and all this stuff. Like for whatever reason, there's a lot of pushback here. I guess because it's a crime, and but it was worth it.
Well, they're
Thank you.
getting rid of Twitter pages left and right now.
Oh,
From what it sounds like.
there she is. It's gone. Sorry,
Not
Sorry.
ours.
Why would they get rid of her Instagram?
Not available.
Because she committed a crime? Then you'd have to get rid of everybody.
Look, you'll find her again. She'll be back.
Yeah.
And she was the highlight of the match, for sure. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, go to Barstool. They'll have it on Barstool.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I saw a bunch of pictures.
They got everything on Barstool.
But they got some like ridiculous photos. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's nothing wrong with that. And Liverpool won. So I'm going to consider that a win-win for the Premier League. Like I'm sure they're not upset about that because all these secondary fans are now checking it out because sports and sex, that sells.
Yeah.
And now they got a little bit of both.
They go together.
Stu over here looking up bar stools. He literally was on Wayfair looking at fucking bar stools. Do you know what Barstool Sports is, Stu?
Yes,
Are
I
you
do. But a
familiar?
lot of things just
It's one of the
popped
very
up.
They got these really
I'm
nice.
trying to get 5 pages closed at the same time.
I don't.
Stu's like, they
get
got
it.
this set of 4 28-inchers over here. Real nice looking.
They got bar stools here. They
Yeah.
have Cubs logos. This is
Yeah.
Barstool Sports,
Yeah.
right?
Oh man, I'm
All right, Stu.
Barstools in sports.
digging it.
Yeah, Stu is not.
It's not my favorite.
This is not your best week, Stu. I'm a little concerned now. I feel like we're gonna have to upgrade to someone who knows what Barstool Sports is. This is the number one sports podcast in Richmond, Stu. You better get with it. We're over here talking sports, Premier League.
Sports.
Yeah, I know. And it came in a bikini apparently.
Yes, that's exactly right. So, Stu, I've seen you nonstop looking up the Tesla pickup. You're all in on this thing, huh?
It just looked like a beast. It looked like a beast, man. I'm telling you.
He did find his way back to the microphone.
He did.
And I will give him that.
He's double timing.
Terrence last week could not find the microphone. I had this board jacked up
Yeah.
to the hilt. It was very difficult.
It's hard. It's hard for some people.
But a few weeks ago, I guess however long ago it was, we did the EV episode.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be the episode where we actually reviewed the beer I reviewed last week.
Yeah, so we did do a double review of the.
I went back and I looked through, and sure enough, EVs and like light IPAs, that's the actual
That's the
IPA.
one.
So
With that awful daytime IPA.
So I did buy the same thing twice.
I think I bought it the first time. That's probably why you didn't recognize it.
Yeah, because I probably only had
Yeah.
it in the moment. Whereas
Yeah.
usually I shop around, I pick
Yeah.
it up, I go, this is the one I'm going to get.
And that's why it kind of sparked my brain to go, this looks familiar, because I think I picked it up last time.
Yeah, because you miss out on them all the time. Like
Yeah.
you'll be like, I don't remember any of the beers, but you remember the ones you buy.
Yes.
That's probably why I remember so many.
That's
Because
probably
I go
you
to
buy
the
most
store
of them, yeah.
and I shop through and go, yes, I want this.
Well, also, I have trouble distinguishing which ones I bought and tried for the deli and which ones I bought and tried for real life. So I can't really, remember. I'm always drinking, and I can't remember if I had it here or there or somewhere else.
Well,
You
that's
get
the
it.
other
Yeah.
side of it. Yeah, you get all these damn
Yeah.
beers all the freaking time. But this Tesla pickup truck, so I brought up in the EV episode, I was talking about the Rivian, which
Yeah.
the Rivian is the one that Amazon put a bunch of money behind. Like Amazon went all in and threw a bunch of money at them. They're going to be the first to market with the electric pickup truck, and they may pull it off, but I got to believe that first to market may not win in this instance because this Tesla pickup truck is sounding like it's amazing, and now they're saying it's going to be under $50,000.
Which is hard to find a full-size pickup truck for under $50,000.
And you just know the Tesla is going to be dope inside. And the Rivian's coming in at like $70,000. They've already said that's the cost it's going to be. So,
Really?
So if he undercuts it by $20,000, you can buy a whole other car.
Yeah.
Just have it.
You could buy a Corolla or something just to
Yeah.
get around in.
Well, that would be highly inefficient compared to your Tesla.
No, I'm saying if you, because the knock on all the electrics is you can't take them for long distances. You can't do that yet. So you're gonna need a gas powered car until they figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, you do. We got 2 producers over here.
Sorry,
Check it
guys.
out.
I'm losing it. It's just been one of those weekends.
So the funny thing about all these electric pickups is all the gas guys, they're like, it won't be strong enough. It won't be tough enough to be a pickup truck. Like, what's it going to tow with its electric motors?
Well, that's my thing. Is the way I understand batteries are, they have a load limit. The more load you pull on them, the quicker the battery's going to die. Obviously, the motor can pull it because electric motors are really, really strong. But will it kill the battery twice as much? Twice as fast?
Elon Musk says this thing will tow. I can't remember if he said 50,000 pounds or 500,000 pounds. Either way, it's way too much.
That can't be that. I mean,
physically speaking, the
your average truck
axles, the
tows
frame,
like 8,000 to 10,000. A beefy truck.
Then we'll say 50,000 is what he's claiming.
But like we talked about, the problem with towing is it's not always can the motor pull it. It's
the car itself has to handle it. The frame, the suspension,
the brakes.
Yeah, you can't put 50,000 pounds behind something and just think that your frame and your brakes are going to hold.
Yeah, well, I mean, anything that big is going to have its own braking system, but that thing is pretty mean looking.
If that's it, they're all renderings at this point. But,
Yeah.
But Stu's been like, Stu has
like
a hard
it. I
on
like
for
the
this
look
truck.
of it. I just like the look of it.
He's been sending in like every week Tesla truck,
I just-
Tesla truck. But today or this past weekend, that's when Elon finally tweeted it'll be under 50 grand, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is getting real fast. And the only real image that Tesla's ever released is like the tailgate, and it does look cool, but
Looks very futuristic.
But that's if this is,
Yeah.
we don't know what it's actually going to.
300 pounds.
Yeah,
300,000 pounds.
300,000 pounds of towing capacity. Come on.
With a range of 400 to 500 miles. I don't know. That's
I mean, you can pull
You
a
can pull
city block.
Yeah, a house.
Yeah.
An entire house.
Like it's nothing. If that's really the case,
I don't know.
like it's nothing. So we shall
It
see.
sounds too good to be true, right?
Tesla, man, this dude launched a roadster into space and sent it off to Mars.
That does me no good.
I'm just saying he does some crazy stuff.
Yes.
Like you can't say the guy doesn't have a plan because he keeps doing the craziest shit in the world. Or what we think is crazy, and now everyone else is scrambling to chase him. But all of these people are dogging the fact that it's going to be tough, that it's going to be able to tow, it's going to do all these things. You couldn't possibly do that without a big fat diesel. I'm starting to question, man. I'm starting to think that yes, you can.
The other side of it was, I'm sure this is old news, but the rig, the Tesla 18-wheeler,
Yep.
there's going to, I mean, the majority of your fuel in an 18-wheeler is spent in the first, 100 feet getting the damn thing going.
Yeah.
Whereas the rig he's got going, being electric, it goes from 0 to 60 just like that.
Yeah.
So you save, it costs $1 bazillion, but the implications on the back end were like it'd save you a ton if you were a trucking company. But yeah, this truck, the pickup truck, I think is going to be great when it does come out.
It's going to be
Whether it does
interesting,
what it
though, because the
does-
rednecks are going to be like, I'm not driving an
Yeah,
electric
yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive a diesel truck that's jacked up. But
oh man,
Rightfully so. America.
I hate those
it's
guys.
made in America.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla's American.
America.
America.
I see you staring death holes in me, but
America.
I don't.
I'm
California.
going to keep saying it.
I'm just going to start saying
Keep
California.
saying it. America.
We're going to secede, and we're going to have, and then we're going to succeed.
I see what you did there.
Because this thing's going to win. Honestly, if Rivian's going to come out with a
I'm pulling for it.
$70,000 truck that has half the range of the Tesla, it's over.
But is it the Rivian or the Tesla? I can't remember which one has the entire grill slide out.
Oh, so the Rivian created an overland option where there's a compartment
right behind the passenger back seat.
Yeah, in between the back seat and the rear wheel well that pulls out, and it's the full length of the width of the car, pulls out, and it's a whole kitchen.
Oh, wow.
So it's got like electric burners.
Nice.
You know, it's got water.
For camping?
Yeah. So then you have a kitchen that slides out, and you can sit there and cook and slide it right back into the truck.
That's cool.
Now that's, again, we haven't actually seen the truck, but this is like one that they had at a car show, and I was like, what the
we all talk about the mileage, but you're starting to get up there like 450, 500 miles. Like, that's a good day's drive. Like, so you could, if you're taking a road trip, you could, drive for 500 miles and then stop and then charge up for the night.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting to the point where the arguments that people have against electric cars are shit.
Yeah.
When you remove all the mechanicals and you use the exact same space.
That's what I'm saying.
It's unlimited.
You can do, and there's so many less things to go wrong.
Yes, that's true.
You know, like yes, if the motor goes, it's catastrophic. That's
Yeah.
the same problem in your damn car, though. The problem is that your motor has a million little things that go wrong.
Yeah.
This is one
Right.
thing: the electric motor that just
Batteries,
spins,
the cables to the motor.
the magnets.
Yeah, and that's it.
Then it's the suspension and the brakes.
Yeah.
That's it. And most of the braking's actually done regenerating power back into
Yep.
the engine, so it's not even using the brake pads.
Yep.
It's a game changer.
But it's a monopoly when it comes, like when you have a Tesla, and I guess if you have the Rivian, when something goes wrong, there's no like just going to.
No,
Joe,
you got to go
it's
to the Tesla, but it's starting
No,
now.
but Jiffy Lube will adapt. All these places will
Yeah.
adapt.
The Billy
Jiffy
Bob's
Spark, not
Yeah,
Jiffy
there you
Lube.
go.
Yeah, Billy Bob's mechanic shop
Jiffy Power.
is learning. Like there's a handful of people that are already showing up on YouTube and stuff that are like,
Yeah.
oh, I can do this, and they're now not official recognized Tesla mechanics. Like it's
Yeah.
happening now. So give it time.
Well, there's
You'll
some
be there.
DIYers that have been building their own battery-powered cars for years.
If you go back and listen to our episode,
Yeah.
they've been doing it since the 1800s.
No, but I'm saying like past 30, 40 years, people have been doing. People have been converting their gas powered to the biodiesel stuff. Like there's ways.
Yeah,
to
you're
do
running
it.
on cooking grease.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah,
Then you
it's
smell like French fries all the time.
wish a motherfucker would. Sounds great.
That'd probably be good because I would think after smelling that enough, you'd be like, I don't want to eat French fries anymore.
I wonder if there is a byproduct of losing a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
You know?
If you just reek of fries all the time, you'd be like, I can't do it. Because you always hear about that in like restaurants where people just get tired of eating the same thing over and over. They're just like, I don't eat here anymore.
Dude,
Well, that's
stink in general is a very interesting thing.
Yes.
Like our brains remember smells.
Oh, yeah.
So
flashback smells.
I'm standing at Wegmans. Like the other day, I'm like getting my lunch. I'm like going through making my lunch.
Uh-huh.
This old lady was wearing the same perfume that my girlfriend in college was wearing.
Yeah. Same lady?
She looked horrible.
Awesome.
Yeah. She had really fallen
Yeah.
apart.
Well, in college, she was only 55, and now she's 75
It
for you.
really, it really turns a corner. No, I was blown away. So I'm standing there, and I'm like scooping my food, and all of a sudden I'm like, why am I so turned on?
Why do I have a boner?
Like, what
the
the hell?
salad is not that good.
You know? And then like this old lady like got closer to me, and I was just like,
How you doing?
hey, I see you like tomatoes too.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like the olfactory senses.
They say it's
will-
tied to memories
It is.
more than anything.
It triggered a memory so fast that I kept walking around like with her,
Circling back,
Yeah, just like
following her around.
Following her.
not following her awkwardly, just following her casually.
So
Huge
so
difference.
In one day, we've got stalking and a bomb threat.
Yeah.
This is not my finest episode. No, I'll give you that, Stu. Well played. No, I was blown away. Like,
Yeah.
I immediately, like, all these other parts in
Yep.
me were like tingling. Like,
Well, it's like
boom,
it's like
right
we
off.
were talking about the dream sequences that we've had. That like your brain can just really freak you out. Like you think
Oh.
you wake up feeling
Oh,
guilty
yeah.
or feeling like something bad happened and nothing happened, you know?
The worst are the ones when you wake up dead middle, or you wake up and you really can't decide if it happened
Yes.
or not.
Yes.
And you're like,
That's what we were talking about. It messes you up. You're like, oh, why'd I do that?
yeah.
And then you come around, you're like, wait.
it's not possible.
After 10 minutes, you're like, I can't even fly.
Yeah.
How could I have done that? You know? Yeah, she smelled like her, but I didn't do that.
So how much money did you spend following her around?
I
Buying
got like a
things that were
3-pound salad that day. That penis was like, get more chicken. She's getting chicken.
Yeah.
Don't give up now.
The salad's $32.
Yeah, what's with the $32 salad? She smelled like a 19-year-old I used to date. It was
So
it's a different world.
25 years later, you're picking up on it.
It was crazy. I mean, immediately she was attractive to me.
Yeah.
And she was not attractive. But there was part of me that was like, that woman is a smoke show.
Yeah. Part of you is like, I bet 40 years ago she was getting it done.
And you could have made her
4
entire
minutes ago, she was getting it done. She was fantastic. Like, I was all in.
And you could have made her entire year and just walked up to her and politely said, you smell great.
You smell delicious.
It would have been creepy. It would have been. It certainly would have been creepy. But it was amazing.
Is that your scent, or did you borrow your granddaughter's?
Exactly. Because I was just shocked though at how quickly it took me back. And
Do you know what it was? Like, do you know what perfume it was?
it's either called like wildflowers or sunflowers.
Okay.
It's one of those
Uh-huh.
like flower. Oh God.
Flower was in the title.
Definitely.
Got it.
And it threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was blown away at how, because I've always heard that, like a scent will take you back.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. Like I'll smell cut grass and remind me of my grandma's house.
Yeah.
Or like I'll smell different things. And like I planted a bunch of lavender this year in the yard because Italy had that stink, and I want to kind of recapture that. But I never had that happen to me where an old
Yeah.
lady immediately became smoking hot to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I was like, do you need help carrying your pills? I got this. It's Tuesday. You haven't taken your pills.
If you're
on
not doing
Tuesday.
anything, if you're not doing anything, I'll be in produce later.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was awkward. It honestly was, but it was.
This nice young man helped me all day long at the grocery store. I don't even think he worked there.
I took a shower and he just left. He was like, you're disgusting, old lady. What are you doing here in your house with me?
Yeah.
This is gross.
It's a scene from Kingpins.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, scent is a wild thing, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. She changed my world.
We've all had it.
It does. It happens to the best of us, I guess. Maybe, kinda.
I think it happens to everybody.
There's something always triggers it. I mean,
Yeah.
grandmother's cooking. You smell something. You
Yeah.
transported like years.
The thing is, I don't even think they make this perfume anymore. Like, I'm guessing it was like a CVS perfume at best.
Yeah.
And it's like she somehow had a gross of them from
Yeah.
'95 sitting around. Man, it was pretty excellent. If you guys have any of that sunflower perfume or wildflowers,
Send it in.
send it in. If you're gonna send us notes in the mail, just put a little of
Yeah.
that on there. I will be intrigued by your note. There's no doubt about that.
Speaking of notes in the mail, I was telling somebody the other day, I had a new listener, Matt, was asking about the podcast and all that stuff. And he was asking about where we get listeners from. And I was telling him about Boo Boo Mysterio. And I would love to hear from that guy again.
We have no idea who Boo Boo
I
Mysterio
know.
is.
No idea.
To
And
this day.
We haven't heard from him in 6-8 months.
It's been a long time.
I mean, he was sending us beers and postcards and all kinds of cool stuff. And I would love to just know he's still out there.
Well, I'd just like to say thanks, guys, for having me. This has been my last podcast. Appreciate it.
What? You're out?
Based on the night, yes, Pink Slip.
Oh, no. I thought he was going to tell us he was Boo Boo Mysterio.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Would have cracked the code. What? You're out now, Stu? That's it?
I'm good now. We're good.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, don't,
You got me.
Don't play like that.
Someone's got to put those pictures of that girl up there
Yeah.
for me in the middle of the show, man. That stuff's
To
fantastic.
burn my computer when I get home.
Well, Troy, I like that you're signing up new listeners.
Yeah.
I would like to plead to the listeners to do that.
Yes.
Grab people's phones. Sign them up for Inside the Pallet House, man. It's pull the old Cincinnati swap. Get them listening to the show. They'll appreciate it, and I'll appreciate it. I know
yeah.
Troy will, and Ely will appreciate it. And then, Stu would like it a little, I guess. And if you haven't had a chance to review us, please do so. Give us the old 5-star kind. Those are the ones we're looking for. If you haven't had a chance to send us topics or perfume, you can do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, or you can always reach out to us at our Instagram, Vitali Uncensored. I mean, at ITPH Podcast, or Twitter at ITPH Podcast. We would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you soon. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?